right. Hello, everyone. Jenny and Nancy here again to continue the wellness series. We're going to start with intellectual wellness today. Intellectual wellness encourages learning. And I feel I'm a lifelong learner. I have an appreciation for learning new things, even the silliest little thing. But I love learning and exploring different and new ideas. And I think it really does, it has helped me become better around it. And it also stimulates our curiosity about the world around us. And it motivates all of us to try new things and to develop a better understanding of how we see our relationship with other people. So a lot of people think intellectual is just, it's book smart, it's what you're reading. Oh, we learn on so many different levels. We learn from sight and touch and sound. Sound healing has become very important in a lot of people's lives. So, intellectual learning. So whatever sources are available to you, whether it's audio, visual, in a book, pursue it.
Hands-on learning, tactile learning, I think.
That's
what do they call it? Kinesthetic, I think is what they're calling it now. Either using your hands, doing things to learn. So, like Nancy was saying, it's not just about sitting down and reading a book or checking a box or taking a class. It can be learning from the world around you. It can be learning from interactions with other people, watching a documentary, teaching someone how to do something. A lot of people learn from teaching. Yes. It's really just about keeping our critical thinking skills sharp, seeking new things to do, sometimes just new ways to do things that we've always done, developing moral reasoning, engaging with any sort of knowledge that we can pick up in any sort of way, and even expanding our worldview to fully embrace all the different outlooks and all the different ways in which we can keep our intellects nice and well. And not only does this serve just a general well-being purpose, there have actually been studies done that show doing crossword puzzles, Sudokus, learning like even like word of the day calendars, or spending 15 minutes listening to a podcast, or even talking to somebody who knows something about something that you don't. If we do something small like that every single day, that improves our memory, it improves our brain health, like our biochemistry of our brains. So there are all sorts of mental health and memory functions, physiologically, like within our actual physical biological bodies, that intellectual wellness can stimulate and keep our brains nice and healthy.
So all of those things that Jenny's mentioning, and our bees just got on camera. When we learn new things, we're creating a stronger brain. There are some programs out there called Brain Gym, and things that when you're going across your body, when you do something with the opposite hand, when you change your hand position when you're shoveling snow, those are all things that create new neural pathways in our brains that contribute to brain health. And Alzheimer's unfortunately has become rampant in our society. So learning new things really does contribute to decreasing our risk of any type of deteriorating brain issues. But learning new things for me has always, it's a sense of almost like a sense of accomplishment and self-esteem and confidence. And it makes people feel better about themselves when you are able to learn something that you didn't know before. It could be a new recipe.
Yes.
Have you noticed I love being in the kitchen?
Food.
Trying a new recipe. And just, I eat differently than my grandparents did, than my parents did. And I do love trying new things, whether it's new cuisine or reading something. And probably one of the most damaging things, unfortunately, right now that we're seeing a lot of people do is watch TV mindlessly. We all need that break, and TV can provide that mindless, binge on Netflix, whatever. It's a nice break, but too much of anything isn't going to be good for us.
Balance.
Yeah, it is
about the balance.
Back to the balance. So finding something you can read, something you can do. I have a an elderly relative. She's painting birdhouses.
That's awesome.
She's never really done much painting in her life, and and they're beautiful. And so explore that whole creative and intellectual can go hand in hand. Actually, all of these go hand in hand.
They do.
But
Some of them are directly linked, and
Yes.
creative and intellectual are so
absolutely.
closely linked together.
So we also know that intellectual wellness really does help decrease our depression,
Mhm.
anxiety. We're keeping our mind active. I think they say the average human only uses like 3% of our brain capacity. So there's room for growth.
Always, yes, definitely. And again, learning something new doesn't have to be just from a textbook. It could be learning how to do plumbing by experimenting.
Oh,
Your
I don't
kitchen
know about that.
Your kitchen sink breaks. Pop onto Pinterest. Some DIY information. Maybe a video or two, like a
That's-
tutorial.
Before you,
How stuff works. So like learning on the fly. Like, okay, I have to fix this. I don't know how to do this.
that's a really good point.
That's a really like a practical application kind of thing. There's a lot of apps out there if you want to learn a new language. Duolingo is a great app. There's a couple others. I think Drops is another one. Podcasts, all kind, and there's stuff that we can take with us on the go.
You can tell who's up on the technology, right?
I'm just kind of a secret nerd. But there's stuff that we can learn
Yeah.
all day, every day in our practical lives out of necessity, or whether it's because we want to. And it can be on the go. So while you're driving to work, or while you're washing dishes, or while you're planting a garden, there's so much that's right at our fingertips. We just have to fully embrace.
Certain plants
Learning
and
things.
certain vegetables in the garden, like it's called companion gardening, they like being next to something else, and they won't do as well if they're next to something they don't like.
I forgot
So
about that.
yeah, I mean it's kind of like us. I don't do so well when I'm not with somebody I like. So,
Look at plants teaching us a lesson.
yep, they always do. All right, well, thank you for tuning in today to Intellectual Wellness, and we'll see you next time.
Keep those brains healthy.
Try a new recipe.
It's a good one.